What is wisdom? Let's take a moment to clarify what wisdom is and isn't from the viewpoint of the mysteries in a way that makes it practical. It is a helpful barometer to have this practical viewpoint. Once you have clarity around it, you will know whether you or anyone else has actual wisdom or not when it comes to the practical aspects of the mysteries. As you can see from the diagram I've created here, there are 6 levels from the bottom where we start until the star at the top above wisdom. The key to the wisdom pyramid is that you are not fully able to do the level being discussed unless you can stretch at least partially into the level above it. At the bottom of the pyramid, we have data, noise, chaos. This is the raw material that is always around us in the modern world, even more so than in the past. From that chaos, we need to be able to pull the data that can be made useful. Useful data becomes information. To truly do that, we need some knowledge of what data to sift out, knowledge of what is actually useful. To make productive use of information, we need knowledge. We need to extend into the level above the level we are working on to really be doing any level we are discussing. For data to become information, we need knowledge of what is useful to sift out of the raw chaos, or it isn't useful. For real knowledge, we need understanding of how that knowledge can be applied on a practical level. Useful information, knowledge, is information that can be verified through practice. That practice leads to an increase of understanding. Without some level of understanding, what is often called knowledge is still just information. Without the filter that comes with genuine initiatory understanding of how to apply that which we call knowledge, it doesn't really become knowledge. It's just information because we have not made the information useful. So again, for real knowledge, we need some understanding of how that knowledge can be applied on a practical level. Armchair interest without doing isn't wisdom. Wisdom only begins with doing what is understood. Wisdom is a verb, a doing word. So then, if we cannot more fully attain any level until we begin to stretch into the level above it, how does one stretch into a level higher than wisdom? For the deepest wisdom, we need our star, our higher genius. All initiatory training should be leading in a practical way to the aspirant attaining knowledge and conversation with the higher genius. That attainment is true initiation. Everything up to that is only initiatory, but not yet initiation. Once initiation is attained, the aspirant no longer requires an adept as an external teacher. Any real external teacher is only a placeholder for the aspirant's star, their higher genius, until they have effectively displaced themselves as a necessity. At that point, having adept instruction is no longer a requirement. With anchored knowledge and conversation, an initiate can be taught directly by the higher genius alone. However, that does take a fair degree of practice to achieve competency, so having an incarnate adept around to accelerate effective training is certainly preferable for many reasons. But we will leave that for another time.